Hey, Spencer, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Are we waiting for Miss Dylan as well?
Yeah, let me shoot her a text.
No worries, no stress. Are you excited for Sundance?
I'm very excited. Yeah, this will be our first time going, and
Awesome.
yeah, it's a dream come true.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's coming up so fast too. I can't believe it.
It's your first time going at a big festival?
Yeah, it's my first time playing, or really attending because I've only ever wanted to attend if I had something showing.
Great.
Um, yeah, so I'm very excited.
Awesome. So I think Miss Dylan is here.
Hi,
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. Let me add my video. Hello.
Hello. I was asking the same question to Spencer. Like, are you excited for Sundance?
I mean, definitely. Yeah, it's both of
Yeah.
our first time. I think it's going to be a very, very fun opportunity. It's like kind of a dream.
Not too much
Mhm.
nerve-wracking for both of you?
Um, I, okay. I mean, we'll see when we get there, but I feel like I'm just excited mostly.
Enjoy it because I mean you put out a great short film, so let's talk about Sweet Talking Guy. I watched it yesterday. I thought it was very interesting. First of all, extremely beautiful film in terms of the way it's shot. I love the artistic direction, really great framing and everything. It makes the whole film very entertaining. So from what I was reading, I feel like if I'm not mistaken, this is inspired by some of your personal dating experience, Dylan. So as a trans woman, I was wondering like why did you decided that this was the right time to do that story?
Well, I mean, it just felt appropriate within my life, like it came to me as an idea as I was closing out, oh, sorry, as I was closing out a shift at the bar I was bartending at, and this guy was just kind of blabbling on, and I thought it would be a good short film. But the idea came maybe like 3 years ago, and Spencer and I started working on it then. But yeah, I was early 20s back then, and it just co-aligned with my dating experience. But why now? I couldn't really tell you.
But is there like a specific moment, a specific experience that you had in your past that was like really resonated to you that like I need to put this on film at some point in my life?
It was like a conglomeration of dates that were all very
Yeah.
south. And then there was just one aha moment as this guy was sort of trying to take me home while spiraling his discomfort with his identity towards me. And I was like, what's the goal here? And it was just hilarious and sad. And I felt like it would be a nice little short.
Well, it's told in a comical way, which I really appreciate about that. And for you, Spencer, what drew you to that project? Except that you, of course, you guys probably wanted to work together, but what drew you to the project specifically?
Well, honestly, I just thought, when she called me with the idea, I just knew right away that it would make a great short film. And for many reasons, I think because of its resonance, I think that it hopefully does have, and hypothetically would have when I was hearing about it just as an idea, with a wide audience, because I'm sure I think there's been experience that many people have gone through in one way or another. A bad date and not really being seen by the person that you're on a date with, and just being seen as more of an object, really. And then also just the humorous approach. Like I know my sister, I know her. We share similar sense of humor and sensibility, and so I just thought it was funny and poignant, and also just it suited her like voice. What even though this would be her debut, what I know her voice to be so well. Um, and so I wanted to help that come alive. And yeah, just like structurally and just premise wise, I found it very uh, fun, clever, amusing, poignant. Like I was like, yeah. So when she told me immediately, I was like, that is a great short film. Like I was so excited because I just thought it was a wonderful idea.
I'm sure the sibling dynamic also helped, like because I'm sure you have your own language between your own inside jokes between you, so that always helped like making the film, and I feel like that transpired through the screen. Yeah.
Oh, good. That I'm really happy to hear that. Yeah, and it really helped make things flow smoothly on set because when we were directing, it really did feel like we were kind of operating as one unit. Like it felt very just yeah, cohesive.
Yeah, and was something about the movie. It says a lot, by the way, about a lot of things. But some things, it's people are always worried about what others think about them, and it's something that we can feel towards the characters' monologues. So, do you think it's kind of like a symptom of the society we live in, like people wanting to please everyone and have the perfect image? Is that something you wanted to achieve when doing this short?
Dylan?
Yeah, I think it's funny. More or less, definitely. I think it's funny how there's like this, especially in our culture, this emphasis on identity, and like I think a lot of the guys are grappling with how they feel about their like what it means towards their identity, and it's like at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. They're just like trying to court a woman, but in their mind, they're just like going through all these hurdles. But at the end of the day, it's like who really cares? And that's kind of what the shorts sort of punchline gets to. It's like, what is this all for? You
Yeah.
know?
I love the punchline by the end. I'm not going to spoil it, but I love the punchline at the end. But there's also, like you said, a lot to be said about accepting its own like sexual identity, or should I say, not be able to accept it for some people. So do you think that's something like it has to do with some prejudice or misconception about the LGBT community? Is that something that you feel like it's present today?
I mean, I think it's about like caring less in general. I think people put so much emphasis on identity. And like if you zoom out from the picture of this short, it's like a man finds a woman hot and gets really stressed about it, you know? Like I think there should just be less emphasis on identity in general, and like they should all just care a lot less.
Yeah, absolutely. And on a technical level, like I said, I thought it was gorgeous to look at, especially in terms of the artistic direction. All those close-ups, the characters in terms of the hairstyle, the clothing. I feel like every specific decision was really well expressed. So, what was your approach to the look of this film? When because it's a short amount of time, so you need to convey a lot of emotion at a short amount of time. So maybe Spencer, you can start, or Dylan, like you want. But just curious, what was your approach in the look of the film?
Yeah, I mean, Sarah Weldon, our DP, and Sam Niedenbach, our production designer, did just incredible work under very constrained resources. Yeah, Sarah came on very early. She talked to us a lot in pre-production about the kind of look that we wanted and things we were drawing inspiration from, and also brought a lot of her own, and then also was able to, again, just work and light it so beautifully and frame it so beautifully in such tight time constraints, and again with like very little resources and lighting, etc. And so she just really knocked it out of the park and made everyone look gorgeous. And yeah, and our production designer, he was able to turn these spaces that were not at all what they look like in the film into what we see on screen. Also with very little, just all doing it all himself, and with the help of like our producers, and like it was. And he just transformed these spaces. Again, not a lot of time, not a lot of resources, but really, I've worked with him before, and he is incredibly hardworking. And yeah, they both just did an amazing job.
Well, there's this like simple framing, but they're very like I love. There's a specific shot with one of the characters. There's some light in the background, and with the depth of field, I really appreciate how the colors and everything just like pop on the screen. So that really struck to me when I was watching it. Like really great look to the film, but it's also the structure that's interesting. So the way it's done, it's like 3 days and it's intercut one after the other. So was it intentional? Well, of course it was, but like what was the thought process? With having the main character not having one line of dialogue and just having all of them like talking about their insecurities the whole time. What was the thought process behind that?
I just wanted to emphasize like how common it is, and how like I think it doesn't feel common to them, but being the one who's receiving it, it's like happens all the time, and it's like of course comical. But for the person who is maybe giving the speech, it feels like a unique experience, and it's just simply not.
So would you have like a lot of
you have anything to say?
a lot of those experiences, I guess, is you're just sitting there and you're listening them talking, and you just it just reflected the whole time. Seeing all your reaction on screen was just beautiful. It also comes back to the way it's shot. But I was just wanted to hear you like about like why there's not one single line of dialogue from your character in the film.
Oh, for me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
I mean, it's just to show how self-absorbed they all are, you know? It's like all about which I think a lot of women can relate to in dating. It's all about, you know, the man talking.
Also, I wanted to add to that. I feel like there were a few reasons that we want to do that, which is definitely the primary reason someone was saying, as I'm sure that is a common experience. And having worked at like being a bartender at like a fancy date wine bar, I saw that so often. But I think also there's something funny to us about kind of giving the characters the rope to hang themselves with, where you just like let them just like talk and dig themselves into a deeper hole. There's something amusing about that, like with Dylan the Dylan's character having this like empowered stance of like, I'm just gonna let you talk because the more you talk, like the more amusing this is to me because you're so stupid. And and yeah, I think also the third reason and kind of just lastly is that I feel or we feel that dialogue, like you should only include kind of the most necessary dialogue that moves the story forward. And since these guys would not hear anything Dylan has to say or listen to anything Dylan has to say, like there's nothing she could say that would be necessary to the short film. So it's like, let's just strip it out of there because you just only want these guys. It's only really necessary to hear them like continually put their foot in their mouths.
Yeah, and I think it speaks volumes about your quality as an actor, Dylan, because I really like I was seeing all your reaction, and every single of your reaction really spoke. It spoke volume about how you felt just hearing them babbling about their backstories and just telling about how their insecurities. They're just like you can tell that they don't know exactly like where they're in their life. So just once again, it all comes full circle with the punchline at the end. I really love that. I just wanted to ask you, like, is there any films that influenced your career or this short specifically? And then the question is for both of you. Yeah.
Okay, well, we are. There are a few filmmakers who we both are obsessed with who happen to be queer, but don't necessarily make queer cinema, and this we wouldn't even put in that category. It doesn't influence it. But in any case, we both love Pedro Almodovar. He is absolutely just. I mean, he's one of the greatest living filmmakers for sure, and I think we both feel that way. And so he definitely influenced. Yeah, I think just like the humor, the way he approaches all of his subjects and topics that are all quite heavy, but with a very like delicate touch that is humorous and poignant and moving and entertaining. And yeah, just and also his use of color, like we definitely, and we talked about that with Sarah a lot. I mean, you can even see in this still in your background, like the color blocking. I mean, he uses red drapes to great effect and Talk to Her in that hotel room sequence. And like, yeah, we love Pedro Almodovar. And also John Waters, yeah, especially Dylan. I mean, I love John Waters too, but Dylan is like John Waters. I mean, she's like read his book. She's like very. I mean, yeah. So you can talk about John Waters, Dylan.
Yeah, I think I was just gonna say I get a little nervous talking about calm, but I was just gonna say like definitely John Waters, and then the third one I was gonna throw in there is Bong Joon-ho, and I think the like common thread for all of them, or at least for myself, Bong Joon-ho, I assume for you as well, Spencer, the common thread for all of them is like this use of comedy as a strategy to like sort of drive home a more like serious topic. I love camp, and I think that that kind of shows. Although Spencer and I are working on something now that's totally not there in like the camp realm, but that always will have just a piece of me, you know?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like every single person you mentioned really it felt like I can see your influences over there. And like you said, you can see the background shot. It's very, very well made in terms of the color management. If I'm not mistaken, it's shot on Arri Alexa 35. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the choice of lens is just curious. Was it the same lens the whole time? Because it really feels like it has this. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Except for the very intro, the beginning, we obviously switched that up, where we had a bit of a longer lens and tighter lens, and I don't remember the focal lengths on that, but I think we were on a 35 or a 55 I think a 35, the entire time for all the dates, because we did want it to, again, have that like consistency to really drive home that they're all, sort of a monolith of shitty dates. I don't know if I
Absolutely.
can swear in this interview, but
Oh, of course
bad
you can.
dates.
No,
Okay,
fucking
good.
problem. You can. So
All right, good.
I'm not gonna take any more of your time, but maybe I wanted to first of all wish you all the best for Sundance. But I want to hear maybe your favorite film of 2024. Do you have a pick for this year? Not to put you on the spot, but I am putting you on the spot.
Brutalist easily, I think, which is not a funny movie. But I think Brutalist is a phenomenal film, and I think everyone should go see it when they get the opportunity to in theaters when they can. That's one of the best films I've seen in quite a long time.
I need to see it. It's like one of the last one I haven't seen this year. Honora is my favorite this year, but I need to watch
Mm.
Brutalist. How about you, Dylan?
I loved Honora. Yeah, I would have to go with that one as well.
Awesome. So once again, wish you all the best. I really like your film, Sweet Talking Guy, especially what you had to do in a 5 amount of time. It really like spoke volume. It made me laugh as well. Beautiful film, and I wish you all the best for Sundance, but for the rest of your career, because I feel like you're onto something.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
That's
Matthew.
appreciated.
That's sweet.
Have a good one. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Not that us hanging out makes me gay or anything. Right?